Hello, hello. I am the here. Ugh. Hello, Jinra. How is you? There we go. We are in. We are in now. Namen food? Food is good. Food can be tasty. Also, don't mind me, Mana. I got fancy new armor for Mana. I actually really like it because it's basically in color scheme for the look. This could be her battle gear. I'm very excited. It's just the new tombstone. You're sorry. Oh, you know what I fucking forgot? Hang on. There we go. It reminds me of Juri's top from Street Fighter. A little bit, huh? Just a little bit. Ah. I maybe shouldn't have gone outside today. There's been a fucking air quality warning here where I live. Canada, stop being on fire, please. Only that worked. Oh yeah, I figured I did a little bit of this today. Mostly because I haven't been feeling well and kind of called off work, so I've been trying to relax. Suffice to say, work fucking sucks right now, but I'm trying to deal with it best I can. But I played some of this. I played some Omega Strikers. So we'll see how I feel tomorrow. But I wanted to stream as well because I didn't do that on Tuesday, and that's on me. I definitely will probably be taking some time tonight like a fool to grind in Final Fantasy VI. Which I did not look at your spoiler thing, Jindra, because I saw that, and thank you for marking that as a spoiler. We need to get our leadership on the not burning the world train. Agreed. Agreed. Please stop burning the world. I would like to live until I am at least 100. And I also want people that are younger than me to live until they are 100 and to have children that can also live up to 100, maybe even longer than that at that point. I would just like it if people could live. Right. Because I did it so early in the day, all of my dailies have reset. So we're just gonna hang out and I'm gonna go kill shit. That's kind of the bread and butter of today's plan. Is I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna go kill shit, and we're gonna hang out. I might answer questions, I might be alt-tabbing out of the game. I don't intend to alt-tab out of the game to, like, play any audio, because most of it's copywritten. Although I could play Popsky's stuff. I've bought all of his albums, but much to his chagrin, probably, I haven't listened to, like, any of them. At the very least, I wanted to support the man. I really should listen to more music. Here, let's pick up our marks. And I will go do this. Okay, let's see. They always, I mean, that makes sense. Because, like, Labyrinthos and, like, the Thavnair area are the lowest level areas, but still. Also, pre-ordered an Ascendance of a Bookworm figure. That sounds fun. I keep wanting to pick up that light novel, but every time I go visit the fucking bookstore. They never have it. I'm not going to be sharing links to it because it's one of the most spoiler scenes in the store. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Appreciate that. Like, every time I go to a bookstore to go fucking look for it, it's like, and they don't have it. Great. Also, don't tell me I could just ask them to order it for me. I know I can. I'm just fucking socially awkward. Get off my back. God, if I keep talking like that, I'm not gonna have a fucking voice for tomorrow at all. Because I called off pretty much start of the day because I didn't feel fucking good. Now here I am, and it's like, I feel better. We'll see. Okay, well, you're dead. What else have we got in Labyrinthos? There also is the issue, it's currently in English, a 30-book series. Oof. Fair. That may also explain my difficulties. As trashy as it is, I enjoy consuming this garbage, finding more fucking Rising of the Shield Hero books. Because what's the last one? I think I need the 7th one, and every time I go to the bookstore, it's like, you have 4, 6, 14, and 20-something. Nothing else. Japanese has an extra 10 or so books waiting to be translated. Oh, great. Swell. But yeah, if you wanted to ask me why I keep reading the fucking Shield Hero books, at this point, it may as well be masochism. Because, like, I do not appreciate Naofumi as a character in the slightest. I will sooner make fun of that fucker. I feel bad for Raftalia, and I always keep thinking, like, girl, you could... If you were not literally attached to his hip, by your choice, you could do so much better. And then Philo is just you are under some poor, unfortunate circumstances. Everybody else that's joined his party, it's like you are all way too quick to accept this. There's a reason they've been managing to put one out on average of more than one every 2 months. And he's still a better person than 75% of the world, which is impressive. Like, he's such a trash human being, and he still manages to be better than literally his 3 other legendary heroes, who all are children, even the college student, and, like, most of the people he meets that aren't inherently nice because they're good people. Like, that is fucking impressive that he lives in such a... or is currently in such a shitty world. Like, I almost want to say the slave trader that he's dealt so much with is fucking better than some of the world that he's in. And that's just fucking sad at that point. And frankly, you actually could argue that, thinking about it. Because at least the slave trader's honest. He's a shitty person, but hey, he's not gonna stab you in the back. Look, Hero of the Spear eventually cashes his reality check. Eventually. And it's so painfully long. I just fucking... God. Boy passed high school with D's. And he was going to do the same for college. That's what I'm convinced fucking Spear Hero was about to do at this point. Okay, what else are we looking at? Junior is done. Nothing in Associate. And I think we did the one for seniors, so it's off to Thavnir we go. But man, it's such a bad series. And I say that as like it's so shittily written. Like, I can't say it's bad on the financial prospect because, I mean, shit, the book has at least 30 volumes. That is the opposite of bad. That is a financial success. Like, if it is still going, or if they want to continue it, and the publisher did not violently vomit upon seeing the sales. There is a reason that Philomara's queen, after meeting Naofumi and hearing the situation, quickly decides tossing out the entire bunch and starting fresh is a good plan. You know what? Fair. That is very fair. And frankly, I agree with her. In her shoes, or I suppose her feathers, I would have just done it already. I would have said, fuck it. This ain't working. It's not gonna work. But of course now Fumi doesn't want to die, so it's like, Of course that fucker's gonna try to make it work. I'm impressed that it takes him as long as it does, but really the light novels keep retreading the same ground. It almost feels like. And again, last volume I read, Spear Hero, you know, maybe isn't the stupidest one of the bunch, but goddamn is he still pretty dumb. But also, fucking surprise heel turn from Sword Hero, like, really? And because one of his party members, or no, it wasn't Sword Hero, it was Bow Hero, and all because one of his party members fucking one-upped him and made him feel like less of the main character. Bitch, you're trying to play this game, quote unquote, with 3 other main characters. Get the fuck over yourself, you narcissist. Again, this book series is trash, but it is trash that I enjoy fucking throttling. All I'm gonna say is don't be surprised if at some point I make a fucking satire of a, like, isekai. That is a better satire than what this tried to be. If it even tried to be satire. To be completely honest, it's not so much of a heel turn as a dropping of the mask. True. True, I guess. That's fair, I suppose. I think we're good in Thavnair for rookie. Oh. Have to make like Clayton and go hunt those gorillas. Bad reference, I know. I suppose in this day and age, at least what Final Fantasy XIV is kind of simulating, doing this could actually probably help the local populace. Because, I mean, really, what's gonna be the predator of these giant gorillas? Like, reasonably. Maybe the Marlboros, which are a fucking pestilence on the land anyway. But otherwise, I don't really think much would be. I think these are king of the jungle. So, might help keep the local population safer. And also, for all I know, like, the people that I'm doing this for are wanting to study them more to figure out how can we, like, coexist with them, and or, you know, if it comes down to it, can we do as we do in real life with animals and keep them in captivity? I suspect there are some monster elephants around. Well, actually, on that note, there are giant birds. There's that fucker. Whatever that thing is. There are giant elephants in the area. There are hippopotami. There are pretty big alligators. There's a number of animals and just straight up monsters that would like keep things kind of in check on a local like ecosystem kind of scale. But at the same time, you know. Also, for some reason, the dodo bird is not extinct. That is less of a problem and more of an observation. Yeah, here we go. Here are some elephants. They don't live in the same jungle, though. They're just out here. And they are huge. I know elephants are big in real life, but, like, I don't know about... Well, no, some of them are that big. Never mind. I thought I had a point. Then I realized I didn't have a point. Also, apparently I have to hunt one of these. Now this feels even more wrong. The gorilla was bad. This is just wrong. Also, on the note of isekai, actually, ReZero is fine, thinking about it, because ReZero, although does all the fantasy bullshit tropes, doesn't do the video game menuing system that so many isekai do. Like, Konosuba does it in a logical way where you have a piece of paper that, like, showed the last time you got yourself magically menued and checked at the guild hall. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon, which I forget what the abbreviation of that one, does it where your house goddess or god can check your fucking tattoo. So you can't see it directly, but there is a video game menuing system for the gods. But point being, isekais really fucking love the video game menuing. Can we just stop? Just stop. No more of it. ReZero gets a bit too deep into torturing the protagonist. Fuck, I shouldn't laugh. Fair. ReZero is very sadistic towards its protagonist. Granted, to be fair, you got basic bitch, I mean Japanese boy, from Japan, dropped into a fantasy world with next to no special powers. He's gonna get murked a lot, so having a respawn superpower is gonna suck. Guess what doesn't exist in the sense of a bookworm? RPG menuing system. Thank you for reminding me that isekai is actually good. But yeah, if I write a fucking like satire novel, there will not be a fucking like RPG menuing system. It is very much going to be a matter of like, you can get assessed by somebody who's magical, who will then talk to you using words what you're like relatively to like the average person, because they're using like basically magical instruments to like measure your strength and shit. Like, oh, you can lift this much because of my magical dumbbells. But otherwise, no, you're not getting a straight numerical answer or statistic of like what your level is. That's bullshit. Power levels are bullshit. Why do people keep inserting them into their fucking like manga and shit? It should be about skill. RPG mechanics have come up once as an analogy of why someone isn't getting stronger. I think you might like reading Tsuchimiki. I'll try to remember that one. You might have to like drop that as a recommendation in Discord just to remind me. But yeah, I might have to give that one a look. But, and like personally, I'm not truly annoyed by it, but I am bringing it up because it's like, if you think about it, it is one of the most kind of overdone and nonsensical tropes when writing for an isekai. Like, why does this world have this system? Like, actually, why? Hang on a minute. If this world has this system, then why aren't people trying to min-max it? Why hasn't there been someone that does what the protagonist does? Outside of their legendary, or this menu system is relegated only to the hero because fuck everyone else, I guess. It does have a system in place that gives characters levels. Main characters rated at level 1, despite being horribly OP. Oh boy. But I mean, I suppose that's fine. But like, seriously, one of these times, it has to make more sense to like the world. Like, maybe it's a magic spell that just does a comparison. Like, you can compare yourself with your target and you can see your relative stats, like, regarding them. And then that's technically a divination spell. So if they're wearing like a divination protection amulet, you can't fucking see that. Like, it'll tell you, like, your strength. I mean, yeah, I can detect yours. And then enemy strength. Unknown, 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 unknown. It's like, what? Also, it does end up delving into the implications of a world where overpowered people are fairly randomly summoned. There's more to it, but that would be getting into spoiler details. Interesting. Tsuchimiki. Okay, again, you might have to, like, write that down somewhere where I can see it, but I'll try to keep that recommendation in mind. But yeah, no, there's so many more creative ways to implement a system where you can check your RPG stats that aren't RPG menuing. The times where it's appropriate are in like things like Bolfari, where it's just straight up VR MMOs. You know? But where it feels less appropriate is when, like, oh, you were summoned from another world. Guess what? You have the ability to access an RPG menu. And I think Slime Incarnation would not have done that if Rimeiru's desire was not to get the sage or to become a sage, quote unquote, at you know, 40 years old or level 40. Like, Rimeiru wouldn't have had access to that, but he got special privilege because that's exactly what he said. Basically. Just frustrating. It's frustrating. It feels like an overused trope. I don't personally hate it, but I can see that's like, y'all aren't being creative enough. System in Tsuchimiki is you hold a scroll and it gives you a number for your sum of mental and physical attributes. That's pretty all right, I would think. Like, that's basically the equivalent of like, here, let me measure your strength by making you lift this really heavy thing. Let me measure your constitution by making you run really far. Let me measure your dexterity by making you walk a tightrope. You know, doing that kind of stuff. Like, the magic can then just easily measure your stats, but it can't necessarily quantify all of them, so it gives you a rating. And that numerical rating is your physical and mental rating. Now, the mental one is a little bit more nebulous, especially if you want to talk about, like, D&D's breakdown of mental stats into intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, because, like, you can probably suss out what intelligence is supposed to be, what the hell is wisdom, and definitely what the fuck is charisma. Those ones are a lot more nebulous, especially charisma. I always try to think of charisma as it's a mix. It is a something mix of your looks, but it is primarily your capability of speaking. Like, if you have a charisma score of 0, you are, or not 0, you can't have 0. If you have a charisma score of 3, you're probably putting your foot in your mouth more times than you care to admit. So you're making enemies mostly on accident, and you, for whatever reason, cannot fucking find a date. Even if you are the handsomest person in the world, the second you open your mouth, people are like, ew, no. Whereas, like, a charisma score of 20 plus, like, you are godly. You can convince people to drop their weapons with nary more than a sentence, and the moment you speak up, people are charmed, seemingly, by you. You could be the ugliest motherfucker in the room, and the second that you speak, people are like, I like that guy. Charisma score of 3 could also be a very crippling case of social anxiety. Exactly. Exactly, and that's where charisma becomes incredibly nebulous. Like, Charisma score of 3 is you're putting your foot in your mouth, you hate talking to people, or you just straight up are like almost incapable of doing it because of anxiety. Whereas like a charisma score of 20 is like you are amazing at it, you are just naturally charming, and maybe you have some form of social anxiety, like maybe that could be reflected in a lower wisdom score, but because you're so good at talking, like people never notice. I don't know why I killed that thing, I just did. I'm looking for specific things. No, you're a big monster, aren't you? Yeah, the Genesis Rock. There you are. That's what I need to kill. Call me Zan. You know what? Fucking excellent point. Colmy is like gorgeous. Most beautiful like student at her school. Charisma score of like 3. She can't talk to anybody. Until the point where I've gotten where she actually has been managing a few words, so she's leveled up and she's put some of her attribute points into charisma, so she's like at a 5 now. Also, she's like wickedly smart. Did I get past the Colmy rant? I don't think so. I would have to actually hold on. I have a notepad that tells me what volume I'm to buy next, so I can't see chat right now. Hang on. So I'm looking to get Colmy Can't Communicate volume 14. So that should give you an idea of where I am. So I'm on volume 13. So I don't remember if the rant was in 13. I don't believe it was. I don't believe I'm past the rant. It's probably going to be like in volume 15 or 16 or something if I had to guess. Oh, I'm a good way from the rant. Excellent. But also she rants? What? Mana's Potion, Patriarch of the Mana family, a Discord subsidiary. No. You see, here's how this would work out. Tamanafa, Patriarch of the Tamanafa family, a Zed family subsidiary. Zed is Mana's father. That's how this naming convention works. Also, hello, Daybreak. How's you? Once. Oh, somebody pushed her fucking buttons then. I cannot wait to figure out who. It's like half her lines in this series. Good. Half her spoken lines, specifically. Actually, it'd be Tamanafa, Patriarch of the Manafa family, a Zed family subsidiary. Although, Tamanafa's dad is dead, technically, in her lore. Well, no, I never really established that. I think I would say that he may have, like, died due to old age, but I honestly would have it written that he's still technically alive. He's just no longer the father to her T clan where she's from. Good. Real estate missions. I beat this guy's karaoke score by 4 points. Dude, getting above... What is it? They want you to get above 90 when they challenge you to karaoke is actually really fucking, like, pressing to the player. Unless you've either been playing those karaoke songs like mad, which I did, or you're really fucking good at rhythm games, which I'm not really fucking good, but I'm pretty fucking good. Hello, Mana, here to offer your support while you lurk and work out. Thank you, Swerve. Hopefully you're doing well. I appreciate it. Do I have to kill you? No, I don't have to kill thinkers. How am I that fucking lucky? Mix of skill and dumb luck? Question mark. Oh yeah, Comey's been great. I got Bolfrey 4. I need to read that. I picked up... Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in a Dungeon? 1 and 2. Light novels, not the manga. I already know I've liked the anime, so I'm pretty sure I'll like the light novels. That said, I am expecting a little bit of trash. Because, like, let's be real. Belle is stereotypical overpowered protagonist number 362. Like, I like Belle, because he's not your typical overpowered protagonist. If you don't count more recent, like, otherworldly anime and manga, where the overpowered protagonist is the shy dweeb that really starts as an underdog. But, I mean, at the time, he wasn't. I think at the time, you would have gotten, like, the underdog guy is, like, he's the nice guy who's kind of actually charming and, you know, is sort of kind of cool, but, like, really not overconfident or brazen or dumb about things. But now Belle and Deku are kind of the, you know, what people expect when it comes to protagonists. But Belle, friend of mine would argue that he rose to be broken, and I'm over here like, no, that kid was broken since day one. Fishing is difficult in 0. It is definitely harder than it is in 3 and 4, that's for sure. I have to go find these bombs. Where are they? They're not bombs, but they may as well be. Actually, they're called dynamite. Never mind. What the fuck am I on about? It's commonly shortened to Danmachi. There you go. Thank you. I was literally like, oh, I know it's shortened to something. I just don't remember what it's actually abbreviated. That was bothering me. But yeah, no, Hestia is Bestia. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I've got a fucking Super Sonico figure, and she's dressed in Hestia's clothing. Like, that should tell you that A, I like Super Sonico, and B, Hestia is Bestia. She's not waifu status. I think Hestia, like, you know, is maybe a little too I'm in love with Belle to properly be one of the waifus that I would pick. But she's up there. She's up there. She's a sweetheart. Happens when you're the goddess of the hearth and the home. Among other things. Okay, we're good on associate marks. Now we got to do senior. Which means I got to go back to the past, Samurai Jack. So yeah, I'll have to read Danmachi. Sounds like Celestia is Bestia. But no, Hestia is Bestia. Because Hestia is best. Like, she is best girl. Oh, these fucking things. Yeah, I know what these are. Not be you. The thing I'm looking for is going to be nearby, though. But yeah, although Danmachi would probably not be the best way to learn about all of the gods, Danmachi is a good way to get introduced into the various, like, you know, oh, fuck it. Pantheons, there we go, of, like, gods, because it basically is just like, you know, every family belongs to a particular god, and they will name drop every fucking single one of them. Including Hephaestus, god of the forge, though they make them a her and it's a goddess. If I remember Hephaestus correctly. Like you can pick out the Greek gods pretty easily. Though like one of the big name ones of like Zeus or Athena are not necessarily present. They tend to be more of like the minor deities. Or the lesser known ones anyway. But yeah, Danmachi's fun. It's a recommend if you don't mind, like... If you don't mind the fucking doormat that Belle can be at times. I believe the popular way to like proclaim a protagonist like him is to call him a milquetoast protagonist. Greek gods in anime? Man, that reminds me of Saint Seiya. Yeah, I know, it's more common than you think. Fucking level tricker. Die, damn you. Okay. So that does... What? Oh, son of a... bitch. Saint Seiya is underrated. I'm unfamiliar with it. I haven't heard of it, so... possibly. Oh, I'm not gonna get anything significant out of this. I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna get something. Even if it's like nothing at all. I got bronze. We'll take bronze. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do is going to be related to doing expert roulette, and that requires me to be this. That doesn't require me, but this is the way to min-max my money. Thursday. Okay. I am the easily distracted, it seems. Sorry, gotta respond to somebody. Oh. There we go. Okay. So next is likely to get angry at people because I have a superiority complex. Oh, and this should cap out my tombstones of comedy. It's about 5 warriors in modern-day Tokyo called saints who wear mythical sets of armor. Said armors are called clothes and are based on the constellations they use. Also use an energy called the cosmos that can be used to create various powers. Why do I feel like that showed up on a, you know, Mother's Basement trash anime of X year? It probably actually didn't, but that immediately in my mind has the fucking makings of like, wait, okay, hold on. Like, you do the who with the what and the huh? Knights of the okay, that's probably why I've heard of it, because Knights of the Zodiac is actually getting a live action adaptation. So I'm like, why does that plot point sound fucking familiar? Hey, it definitely sounds fun. I'll give you that. You're back. Literally got a phone call immediately after your first post. No worries. Sure I've got all of them because and hopefully I don't get a like I nearly fucking snapped on I think it was Tuesday when I was playing this because like I was running a party through this dungeon specifically actually, and the healer would not stop pulling the boss early. Like we get to the boss and then they pull it and I'm like, are you fucking for real right now? And I was already grumpy because we're doing shit at work that I'm not a fan of. Put it simply, like, it may now very well be time for me to start looking for employment elsewhere. But it happens so often, I'm literally like, I'm about to fucking make a macro where I just press a button and I lay out my ground rules for the party. I ultimately haven't, but I about damn near did because I'm like, dude, this is so fucking stupid. I do not want to have to keep fucking like having players pull instead of just, you know, doing the thing. I'm waiting. There's that fucking impatience and that precasting. It's pretty good, and the fights are pretty damn brutal for a shonen anime. When are they not? I mean, I hail from the time of when, like, you know, I would probably have watched something like, what is it, Ippon no Jo? Which, I've heard that shit's kind of cool. But that there's a boxing anime, and boxing is, frankly, kind of fucking brutal. Has cool attack names, like the Phoenix Phantom Fist, Starlight Extinction, Lightning Plasma, and Bloody Daybreak. Are you secretly a Chunibyo? Bear in mind, I'm only picking on you both out of familiarity, but also like, are you just a Chunibyo? Because those are attack names a Chunibyo would come up with. Abysmal body blow. Swerve gets it. Also, how is Unox? Might actually want to try to protect my party members here. If you don't know what a Chunibyo is, don't worry about it. Basically, I'm calling you a nerd of the nth degree. Not exactly a nice term in Japan, but that is effectively what it means. Looking at tanking Mythic Plus. Look at me. Look at me. World of Warcraft is temporary. Play Final Fantasy XIV. It's free until level 60, and you can go all the way through the first expansion, Heaven's Word. Anyway. I do not like that healer. At the end of Shadowbringers, so you can't even play 14.
Then fucking re-up your sub.
I mean, your friend is probably paying for your sub in World of Warcraft, so tell him to pay for your sub in Final Fantasy 14. And tell him he'll like it better. That said, I say that, and my fucking friend Sage ultimately said that this isn't the MMO for her, which, fair, it's very single player focused. Personally, I think that's fine, but I'm the guy that likes single player games, so of course I would think it's fine. No, because he actually... Oh. They should have the anime on Netflix, all 4 seasons. You see, it's really hard to support Netflix considering their very anti-consumer practices. And also, I'm a lazy fuck and I don't want to start a subscription. I already watch enough YouTube. He loves 14. Well, then, if you won't, then I fucking will. I don't actually know your friend. But I think it'd be fucking hysterical if I did and I told him, like, hey, you should pay for, like, Nox's Final Fantasy 14 subscription instead of his World of Warcraft one. Agree on Netflix. I go in, I binge JoJo and Agretzko, and then I leave forever. I'm die. Thank you forever. Basically what you do there, huh? Just pull a Corone. You know, it would be nice if I used more than just my short mitigation that healed me to, like, make the healer's life a little bit better. But also fuck this healer, because they want to run way the fuck ahead of me. Also, you got Sonic Prime. Also, you guessed Sonic Prime. And yeah, basically. I've been hearing Sonic, or at least I've heard Sonic Prime is pretty good. I know Sonic Boom was good. Go figure, the anthropomorphic hedgehog that was designed specifically to target the United States audience, and having a Western cartoon studio doing the cartoons, performing well, perish the thought. Season 1 has a lot of arcs. The Galaxia Tournament arc, the Phoenix Saint arc, Silver Saint arc, the Leo arc, the Goddess Saint arc. Castlevania is getting a new series. Oh joys. Nah, they're probably ready. Normally I don't like just run into the arena and pull, but if they're waiting there and there, it's like, yeah, you guys are probably ready. Like, I like to wait so that way I know the monk has their fucking stance thing up. And I know whoever else is something that they need to charge up has it charged up. I like people doing optimal DPS. It's more fun for them and it's faster for us. I don't like it when people pull ahead because it's like, dude. Also, I need this guy position right because both of them have positionals, so I don't think the samurai is going to particularly care. Castlevania Nocturnal is going to be loosely based on Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night. Okay, so is loosely based going to be how I heard The Witcher was loosely based on The Witcher? Where apparently it makes some superfans really angry about some of the changes that they pull? Or is it loosely based as in it kind of follows the story mostly? Either or, I honestly would tell them, just make your own fucking story and stop trying to adapt it. Or if you're going to adapt it, maybe try to do something like what Nier, like Automata did. Which I admittedly didn't watch that anime, but to my understanding, the Nier Automata anime started by telling the same plot, but then divulged quite a bit. Or diverged. The latter. Yeah, see, I mean, that's what the Atelier Ryza anime is going to do, and I can't in good conscience say that that is a bad way to do it when I would say for Atelier Ryza that might be the optimal way to experience that story. Because, I mean, Atelier Ryza 2 is more of one's gameplay, for the most part. That said, I haven't played it yet. And Atelier Ryza 3 is kind of the same, so you don't need to go back and play 1 when it's kind of the inferior product if you want to know the lore, if the anime is going to be around. Which is kind of ultimately what that anime is for. Okay, well, fuck you. I wasn't here. I will wait for you assholes to, like, either fucking die or wipe. One of the two. I really want to do that. I'm just, you know, fuck you guys. This is one of those instances where it's like, if you don't like my fucking tanking style, you can, like... Oh, I'm gonna let you get creamed, dude. Nope. You pulled him. You fucking deal with him. Not sorry on this one. I can live without you, dude. Unfortunately, the rule of you get to decide who lives or die does not apply to me. I am not that awful of a tank. If you're having impatience problems, queue up with the tank next time. That you know. Or queue as tank. Weird question. Do I like fighting games? Random thought. I like them well enough. I imagine that this question is geared towards the hype around Street Fighter 6, if I had to guess. Speaking of Sonic doing well, I hope Sonic 3 is like an earn our rating PG. Since they're adapting parts of Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. I mean, it might be, it might not be. I don't know why you keep thinking that's a good idea. I'm just gonna let you deal with it, and if you pull the next group, I'm gonna fucking do nothing. Like, I don't need your fucking healing, but you sure as shit need my tanking. This is exactly what I'm talking about, by the way. This kind of bullshit. Like, I'm frankly sick of it, because it's like, I want to go at a more relaxed pace, but apparently I'm the one in the wrong, because everybody now just sprints through these things. Question, who decided that etiquette, and why am I the one in the wrong? Like, if you want to grind, get your fucking friends who also want to grind. And if you three are the friends, then why didn't you get a fourth? Or why aren't one of you a tank? It's fucking stupid, and I hate it. Good? Probably good. That man put his formless fist up. That's what I care about. The other one's a samurai. They don't need to do any prep. But, I don't know. I should go watch the first and second Sonic movies. But again, there's that word. We're adapting some plot elements. It's like, you know, Sonic X did that, right? And it kind of fucking flopped. Really, the only things that the Sonic movies should be adapting are the elements from those games, which would probably start and stop at gun being a thing. And Shadow the Hedgehog, I guess, since they're fucking pulling that. Both those are pretty dark because of Shadow's story. Bitch, I don't know what you're talking about, other than the fact Maria died in Sonic Adventure 2. Outside of that, Shadow's just a broody edge fuck. His story ain't dark as anything. He had a great backstory up until the point that Maria got shot. Now he's just being an edgy bastard about it. Sorry, but that is in fact my hot take. It got edgier and darker in Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog, when turns out the reason Shadow was made at all is because aliens. And these aliens wanted to use him for nefarious purposes. So it turns out he has the evil origins backstory. And also, let's be real, Shadow the Hedgehog is like the most edgiest Sonic media has been outside of the Archie comics and maybe like something like Sonic Underground. Depends on who you ask on Sonic Underground. Sonic 1 and 2 did good because they both... They both as in edgy and light-hearted, or what? Oh, also, don't mind me. I'm just fighting a boss from Final Fantasy IV again. Like, old elements from the game. I would argue, based on like what light knowledge I have of them, the elements that they pulled are largely shit you'd expect them to pull. The Chaos Emeralds, the Master Emerald, the Warp Rings, but otherwise they're largely their own unique plots. You don't get a GG, thank you for party because of the fucking healer. I sort of disagree, Reshadow, but honestly, your take is valid. Damn straight it's valid. Shadow is only acting edgy because Maria got shot. Beyond that, that's like the one bad thing that's ever happened in his life, and the dude has like not lived. It's like, bitch, you just mad that somebody shot your girlfriend. Which admittedly, that usually is enough for dark and broody, but typically when you get dark and broody backstories, you get, my whole family was killed by the enemy, so now I'm going to take all of their lives individually. Shadow over here just like, somebody shot the girl I liked a lot. All of humanity must die. It's like, hold on, hold up. Back the fuck up. That does not logically check. You lost somebody you cared about, one person, and now everybody that is human must die. The person you liked was human. What the? Shadow? Hello? Is your brain functioning, my guy? Hello, Shadow? 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 You're being an edgy bitch. Stop being an edgy bitch for 5 minutes and think about this. He's absolutely, but like, how do I put this right now? Maria's more like a sister, so I get it. Yeah, just, again, it was very much like a... If anything, he should be more pissed that they imprisoned them. That should be his primary reason, and his secondary reason is like, I'm really mad at humanity because they killed Maria. And then Rouge could be all like, alright, that checks. You've been in prison for a really long time. I can see why you're pissed. If your primary reason is, I want to take vengeance on those that locked me up because I didn't do anything fucking wrong, assholes, I think I would understand a little bit better. But then Shadow would actually be all like, I have to make sure that Dr. Eggman doesn't die. Oh fuck, the whole plot of getting the 7 Chaos Emeralds to the Ark means that the whole thing is gonna crash into the planet. Oh god! How am I gonna say, oh I know, Chaos Control. Wait, shit, Earth is the only other destination I can go to! Either way, Shadow used to be less of nothing but edge, yeah, darkness, and more of a mysterious and distant. But after his arc ended, they had no idea what to do with them, so they just steered hard into him being an edgy bitch. You right, though. He definitely strikes more of the I am dark, mysterious, and cool vibes in Sonic Adventure 2, still being an edgy bitch, but at least he had a little bit more going for him. I can agree with that. But then afterwards, it's like, I'm a secret agent in Sonic 06, but in Shadow the Hedgehog, I can be whatever edgy bitch I want. Ruler of the world, the anti-hero, the anti-Christ, a goddamn cyborg. I could be it all. I can be your Angle or your Devil, baby. Adventure Era Shadow is my top 5 Sonic characters. He's been really good in Shadow in 06. After that, Let's not forget Sonic, or yeah, you said Sonic Heroes. Oh no, you didn't. Heroes, he wasn't really a character in Heroes, now that I think about it. He was just kind of there. He had like, what, all of 6 speaking lines? Outside of hints where he tried to be an edgy bitch? Heroes part of the adventure era. Yeah, but he didn't really talk. Now that I think about it. Rouge did most of the talking, and Omega was like, must kill Eggman, must kill Eggman, must kill Eggman. And then I had to turn into Dragon Ball Z abridged arc, and Rouge had to go, hey, Omega, you need a hobby. Acquiring hobby. Beep, 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 beep. Birds. I like birds. Okay, weird pick, but you do you. He gave the immortal line. Space. Did you say space? All his memories were altered by Professor Gerald when he went insane. So the whole kill humanity was because of Gerald Grit. When the fuck was that the plot point? I think the whole idea was like, no. Unless that was in the overlap speech during Sonic Adventure 2's final story. But even then, it's kind of heavily implied that his true ultimate life form prototype was the Bio Lizard, which he codenamed Shadow. Probably because the man went mad and forgot that he actually made something called Shadow for Black Doom, which was a retcon. Japanese version. No, that is a trash take. I think the American localization got it right. Fucking altered his memories. Bitch, you made Shadow. You ain't a fucking neuroscientist. You're just a goddamn fauna scientist. I can create life because I'm an evil genius. But I never went to school for brain surgery, so I'm not gonna try to alter his memories. Fuck if I know what'll happen. He might turn on me and try to kill me. But no, it was heavily implied that he did make Shadow to like be the thing that probably targeted humanity during his speech. But nowhere in that speech is it like, I altered his memories. I simply created him. It's like, I think, bitch, you went insane. And it's implied that it could have been either or. And Rouge even brings up that, like, which is it, Shadow? Is this Bio Lizard the real ultimate life form? Or you? What are you? You're an anomaly. And Shadow's like, bitch, I know who I am. Shadow has made an effort to create a cure for Maria's disease. See? That's why the whole idea of him going mad and altering Shadow's memories is a trash take. Also, he was launched to Earth. So how the fuck did Gerald find him before Gun of the Past even did? Localizers got it right. Granted, their take was Shadow just an edgy bitch and wants to kill humanity because they killed Maria, which, I mean, I wanted to kill people for less, but dude, all of humanity? Why not just the guy who killed Maria? Why don't you start there? Probably because he did that already and he didn't feel anything. But then Maria got shot, Gerald went mad, fucked everything up, had a change of heart right before he's executed, then goes, all of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my wrath and despair right before he got executed. Seems a bit inconsistent. I mean, that's kind of what going mad does to a guy. In fairness, but also, yeah. Like from a narrative perspective, that's very like, dude, pick a lane. From the dude is actually psychotic perspective, that could actually check. Humans are so swingy, dude. Because between fucking up the arc and getting executed, he left an apology to Shadow, but then he gave the speech anyway. You right though, because that's actually part of a plot point in Shadow the Hedgehog, isn't it? Like, there are at least 2 videos in Shadow the Hedgehog where Gerald addresses Shadow. So, one where Maria shows up and another one where it's just him. My dude really did go mad. But again, Shadow is an edgy bitch these days. He is one of my favorite edgy bitches, and I like him marginally better than Sonic the Hedgehog. But even then, that's because Sonic the Hedgehog is just too cool for school, gotta go fast as a character, and I fucking despise that. Like, Sonic Frontiers gave Sonic depth. That is how bad Sonic's character is. It took a whole ass game to actually give him depth. Also expecting consistency from a raging broken man. And then there's Silver. What about Silver? Who actually is, of the 3, the best written character. And that's sad. That's really sad. The dude has his reason for coming to the past. The dude has his reasons for thinking he should kill Sonic before realizing, wait a minute, I've been lied to. And then realizing what he actually has to do. And then he loses his best friend Blaze. Granted, the whole fucking sequence should have been written better. Silver is a precious boy. Silver is a precious boy. Like, he just wants to do good, but then they, like, retconned him into the actual canon, so I don't know who the fuck this actual Silver is, but, like, he's still a precious being. Issue with Silver is that he seems to, vacillate between 2 characters frequently. Kinda, yeah. Song was best written in Black Knight, I'm just saying it. Yo, but actually though, the storybook games were pretty good story-ish wise for Sonic. Just Sonic and the 7 Secret Rings, or Sonic and the Secret Rings, was ass to play, and the Black Knight was not much better, but at least was an improvement. Like, I actually liked Black Knight. I did like the whole story arc that Sonic went through, and it did display probably some of the best characterization of Sonic, arguably in both games, but especially in Black Knight, where you've got this dude that just does not give a shit about the idea of honor and thinks, like, correctly that it is incredibly stupid when Gawain, the Knuckles look-alike, wants to Sudoku himself because he lost. And Sonic's like, bitch, I'm gonna take that sword. The hell are you thinking? What the fuck, man? Saves Percival, who's all like, you saved your enemy. He's like, yeah, I don't like having people die around me. Is that a fucking problem? You'd actually say colors. Actually fair. Actually fair. That is true. He's probably the best written in colors because that's where he is at his best sassiness. Even though for most of that game he is by himself and is just being sassy to robots that cannot reply. But at the era, which is the 06 era, definitely Black Knight is probably the best characterization of Sonic at the time. You're not into colors, but I understand why people like it. Spirit of the Law versus Word of the Law. No. No, absolutely not. Sonic, as on the alignment chart, is probably neutral to chaotic good. And that is not necessarily the Spirit of the Law, Word of the Law person. Like, you could still get that as a neutral good character, but they would be lawful good leaning. Because then Sonic would not feel the need to break the rules, like, constantly. You realize how much property damage Sonic does in Sonic Adventure 2? Motherfucker is chaotic good. Like, there's so many people that he did not have to ruin their fucking livelihood by crashing into their cars. But he could, and he does. You know, Sonic is very much chaotic. He is as free as the wind. What I mean by that, he's not a knight, but he does embody what a knight should be. So he's a hedge knight. Which is hilarious that that is a term, considering, but he's a hedge knight. Hey, Tails is there for a good bit in Sonic Colors. He is, but not as much as Sonic is giving quips to robots that do not reply. Hey, Kiddu. Hey, chef. Got you a new fish. Slams a freshly killed great white shark onto the table. What the fuck? Fighting to protect the people who need it and their freedom to choose. Pretty much. That there's a hedge knight. He has no lord, no master. But he's running around doing shit. Like a knight. Also, someone pitched the possibility that Sonic is aromantic, so I'm obligated to appreciate him. I mean, realistically, Sonic is an enigma, considering that Amy is very much crushing on him, but in some bits and pieces of media, he canonically seems to not care, and others, he actually does give a shit. It's super wishy-washy on, like, what his status on romance is. Personally, I kind of ship it when Amy is not annoying, but otherwise, I mean, whatever interpretation is fucking frankly valid, because that dude is not actually joined at the hip with anybody technically, other than Tails, but Tails really just kind of just, you know, handcuffs Sonic by the wrist to Tails himself, and it's just like, hey buddy, you gonna take those cuffs off me? Tails? You're my role model, Sonic. Tails, we talked about this. That's really fucking creepy. I'm surprised Kiddu hasn't brought in as whale at some point. I don't think Sonic could stand to be tied down by a relationship. I mean, realistically, no. But let's be real. If anybody he would let himself be tied down by, he would let Amy do it. But only because wherever he's running, Amy is always fucking following. So it's like, if he ties himself down to her, I mean, realistically, he's just still running around, but now she's just trying to follow him. Why are there bike tire marks on its face? It was a fight. Bouncing back to several conversation topics ago, I actually asked about fighting games because I wanted to ensure you knew about Idle Showdown's existence. I am aware of Idle Showdown's existence. I would probably be a Botan main if I'm not going to play Korone. Or Callie. One of those three. Probably Botan, because she's actually really cool. And I low-key have a crush on that VTuber, but, you know. I am not the first person who's like, I have a crush on a VTuber. Botan is the first one that's like, that's a VTuber I actually have a possible crush on. But that's because I mean, if you know Arknights, you know of the character Siege. Siege is up there. If you know me, you know my love of tomboy-esque characters like Miyabi. Botan is a lion character that frankly seems to be a bit tomboy in design and possibly in attitude, and you have the right mix. So low-key, I have a crush on her. And Callie, but again... I'll see how I can get into Sonami Dynamic. That silly game. Botan is top tier at the moment. Go figure. Then there's the Sonic comics where Sally's trying to get Sonic to be your king. You know, when I started reading that sentence, I thought it would go into a particular direction. But the direction I was thinking of, one, Sonic doesn't wear pants, and two, even if he did, he clearly doesn't have junk. So anyway, my fucking gutter brain going places aside. Don't look up hedgehog anatomy. Don't look up echidna anatomy. Like, just try not to learn about other animals' anatomy. You will probably gross yourself out. Especially when you look up their genitalia, because more times than not, you will look it up and be all like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, Idle Showdown, I probably would play it at some point. I am not gonna lie, Street Fighter 6 has my interest as well, but mostly because I want to play as Mana through the story mode, and it seems like it's kind of create your character plus pick their moves from various characters in Street Fighter. It's like, I could reasonably try to approximate what Mana's actual fighting style would look like in that game then. And that's like my core reason for wanting to get Street Fighter 6. Hedgehogs are just as bad as echidnas, but in a different direction. I'm honestly kind of into Street Fighter 6 too, but I want to wait for the price to drop. I think, did Capcom do what every other fucking company is doing right now and put it at $70 to start? Because if they did, shame. If they didn't, good on them, but also $60 is quite a bit to just buy it for the story mode, because I don't know if I'd buy it for the actual multiplayer, he says, knowing he'll at least try it once and then get bodied and then never play it again because there are too many people that play Street Fighter like actually skilled and do infinite combos and would just rafflecopter on me. I would say, saying that though, I've done it for Tekken, and I keep playing Tekken, but you know, currently 60, good. You're basically fighting the shark in the water. I mean, he pulled it out of the water, and once a shark is out of the water, as long as you stay away from its face, you're probably okay. No, that said, I'm pretty sure Kitty would pull that out of the water and is like, Yatta! Oh, shit! Oh, no! Fuck! Sorry, that's such a bad impression. Somebody, fuck me. Okay. You'd probably go, Yatta! Oh, shit. Fuck. And just regret everything. Kitty would hold it over his head like an Animal Crossing character. You're more excited for Mortal Kombat 12. You mean Mortal Kombat 1. And also, I sincerely cannot. I see the gratuitous violence and I just go, no. Also, the fucking combo system looks simple as fuck and not at all satisfying to pull off. And that's coming from me who tried to play Mortal Kombat, what was it, like 10? And no, I cannot. If I'm going to play a fighting game, I want my combos to be flashy and actually satisfying to pull off. And Tekken is the best of both worlds when it comes to like Street Fighter style and Mortal Kombat style, where it's like, these actually make sense, but also they feel flashy. And then break its spine over his knee. You know what? Fair. That is exactly what Kitty would do to a great white shark. Or he grabs it and body slams it like in beast style. I feel like that is ill-recommended considering it's a shark. He's breaking its spine over its knee, or his knee. God, at this point I've just been hanging out. I haven't been doing anything other than running around my house. But yeah, no, I cannot get behind the gratuitous violence in Mortal Kombat. I never, well, I say I never really could, but there was a time when I was younger where I'm like, oh, that's cool, there's so much blood. But once I got into, like, I think it was middle school, I just saw it and I'm like, man, I do not care. The most I would maybe be fine with is like what happens in like Halo or Modern Warfare. You know, Call of Duty. Causes yen to flow everywhere. From other people that checks, but from a shark that does not check. There are rules in Yakuza 0. Like, when it comes to fish, you have to sell them. Backdrop it straight into the bank. Yep. It's Yakuza. When are things never crazy? They're always crazy, but they always follow a set amount of rules, too. And the rule breakage is incredibly rare. Like, if Kiryu fished up a golden carp, and then he body slammed it and a bunch of money flew out of it, that I could believe. But just a regular ass great white shark? No, that's breaking the rules. He'd have to sell that one. The other thing I want to... Oh, no, I want to do PvP. I'm capped out on tombstones. I may as well do something fun. This look is so fucking good. Ah, it's such an upgrade too. I still have the other striking top that hasn't changed yet, but like, this is the old look. This is the new look. Gonna hit the shower. Good night, everyone. You have a good night, Swerve. Thanks for sticking around for as long as you did. Old, new, old, new, old, new. It's like I went from Monk Master to Monk Grandmaster. Which checks because, and this is not an official term in the game yet. Because like your protagonist is supposed to be the Warrior of Light, but I'm pulling from Final Fantasy V, and Mana is actually one of the Dawn Warriors. Because the idea is meant to be that, like, you know, she's not a Warrior of Light, but she fights besides them so often and can pull off some ridiculous bullshit. She may as well be a Warrior of Light. So, Dawn Warrior it is. And, like, to address the straw man in my head, who's all like, you can't do the bullshit that the Warrior of Light does because nobody else in the Eorzea can do that. Bitch Thancred can do it. Bitch Y'shtola can do it. Motherfucker Godbert, who is a comedy character, and Manderville, the whole Manderville family can do it. They're comedy characters. I understand that they're comedy characters, but they're also technically part of the canon. If they can pull the same bullshit that the Warrior of Light can pull off, including the Warrior of Light's merry band of sometimes Mary Sues, then anybody fucking can. I mean, shit, you're frequently fighting bosses that can do more than you can. Looking at you, fucking the Griffin. And, I mean, you fight him as a mini-boss, but Raoban, with only one arm, motherfucker pulls off shit that you can't do. Like, he is, for all intents and purposes of that fight, stronger than the Warrior of Light. Yes, you are technically, very technically stronger than him. But also Ralbon pulls some bullshit out of his ass and is able to do shit that, like, maybe only a Warrior of Light could do, but hey, it's Final Fantasy, and, like, you're not the only one. So why should other people be able to do what the Warrior of Light can do? Hence, Mana is a Dawn Warrior. She's not a Warrior of Light. She doesn't have access to the Echo. I say, even though all the cutscenes say I do. I just think it's more interesting to have a character that is like Mana instead of overpowered Warrior of Light McGee number 322. But of course, people are also in, like, apparently some of the role-playing scene in this game will go and be all like, oh, I'm not a Warrior of Light, but I'm like a fucking peasant that does, like, tailoring. It's like, that's... Dude, that's boring. That's like playing Dungeons and Dragons, but then being a villager in the group of adventurers. Like, you're the level 0 character. Like, what? Why? Why do you do that? Are you having fun? Surely you are. Because otherwise you wouldn't be doing it, but why are you doing it? You know? Like, there was a joke around the time that it was really bad of how, like, when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV role-playing, you're either a dirt farmer or you're a high-class aristocrat, but nobody's the overpowered Warrior of Light. And it's like, that's boring. Why would you do that? Why would you restrict yourself to that? It's like, it is canon that there are multiple Warriors of Light. Why can't there be multiple Warriors of Light? I know I don't want to be, but I have the I have an explanation as to why Mana isn't. She doesn't have the Echo, so why can she be as strong as everybody else? The reasoning? I mean, Thancred is as strong as everybody else, but he's not a fucking Warrior of Light, so Mana's a Dawn Warrior. Again, to borrow a term from Final Fantasy V, in fact, looking through series, Warriors of X have tended to come in sets of 4. Largely speaking. In Final Fantasy XIV, it has to be a multiple of 4. So, 4, 8, or 24, depending on the dungeon. Well, kind of, sort of, including areas like Boja as well. Or, yeah, no, because, like, you do groups of 48 for limited availability fates. So you sometimes there are enough Warriors of Light to form a small army, which is a terrifying thought. Back up. Shield. Heal. Where are you going? Okay, we got our 2 points. Given that each is a small army unto themselves? Yeah, I know, it's fucking terrifying. But, like, you do 24-mans in, like, the Ivalice raid, where you go fight Ultima the High Seraph. Which, spoilers for those who are not in the know, I think is the final boss of Final Fantasy Tactics. Which, in Final Fantasy Tactics, took, like, a group of 10 adventurers, a group of 10 to deal with. But here in fucking Final Fantasy XIV, you take 24 adventurers, a small army. Canonically, they're all supposed to be Warriors of Light. Oh, we just ninja'd that because fucking... Oh, are they? No, they're fighting over a fucking A rank. Well, fine. We'll just sneaky beaky this shit. Get the fuck out of there. Let them keep fighting each other. Technically, your crew at the end of Final Fantasy Tactics is an army. True. That's very true. But either... As may very well be the case, actually. Hang on. Ah! Okay, the whole fucking army is bearing down on this one. Yeah, you weren't winning that fight. Not at that low health. Yeah, we lost that point because it kind of blobbed on it. But yeah, no, like you bring a whole ass like small army of adventurers who are all implied to be warriors of light to fight against Ultima the High Seraph, and it's not an easy fight. So, and technically the canon in Final Fantasy XIV is that it's not the same canon as Final Fantasy Tactics, but the story is basically Final Fantasy Tactics. The history is not quite as... Oh yeah, Ramza just defeated Ultima the High Seraph, and that was that. No, it was ultimately Ramza kind of fucking failed against Ultima the High Seraph, but succeeded in sealing, you know, Ultima. So, you know. Yeah, I think we can keep winning if we just, like, take the smaller points. Let them keep fighting over the high rank ones. We'll swoop in and, like, grab the lower value ones. Where are you going? Get us some points. This is a bad place to be. Okay. Yellow's kind of the second place. Nobody's gotten it yet. We're falling back, it seems. Yeah, it's getting kind of dicey. Waiting for that buff to go away. Oh shit. Blue's gonna get those 2 points. They're right there. Okay. We're gonna have to start fighting them for their points. Like, this has been working out okay, but... Hell? You okay, dude? I have to assume you're, like, throwing right now. Yes, you are. Hell, are they trying to attack us from multiple angles? Kinda. This fight's messy. At some point, somebody's going to yield the middle point. But the issue is that whoever ends up yielding it is not going to be happy about it. Let's see if I can bait this. Nope. We may have had the same idea, actually. Got it. Okay. We made them yield. Now, the whole point why I threw up my shield there, even though I didn't need it, is to see if I could bait the monk to actually use their limit break. Okay, I'm not going to throw all my weight at that one, because we're winning technically, so I want to secure points that are easier for us. Let the people that are losing keep fighting over points that are harder for them to secure, because they have to fight each other. Because we don't want to give them an excuse necessarily to, like, breathe down our necks and team up on us by being there. Might be coming. Got it. We ride! Okay. Yeah, they're gonna go after this point then. You're not going anywhere. Crash on them like a mighty tidal wave. Like, I think we're making the right choices by, like, picking our battles and deciding not to go for ones that are going to, like, lead to heavy casualties, while Flames and Adders are fighting each other just to try to get something. Oh, what the fuck happened to me? Go. We got the point. Flames got that one. Better move. Ah, we're in trouble now. It's gonna be one of those. This is gonna be decided by those who stall. Shield. You're not slick. Oh yeah, no, they're falling on us hard here. Shield. One of those moments where if I can pull their fire. Yeah, no, let them fight over it then. Completely neglected our other 2 points. That was bad. And there's another S-rank platform. Oh, yeah, no, this is not a time for me to just... Hi? Hi. Come on, keep chasing me. yellow got fed in that fighting, though. Want to find the out of position folks. Ow? They sunk a lot just to do that, huh? And they won. They snuck up from behind. That'll happen. Snurgle blur. Who the fuck? Oh, okay. I'm like, who added me? Why was I added? Somebody is just now playing Atelier Ryza for the first time. It's like, man, crafting and gathering in this game, it's fun. It's like, if you think it's fun in Ryza. Granted, this is somebody that plays Final Fantasy XIV pretty extensively, so their standards of what should be fun is kind of low. Not to their fault. Not to their fault. Final Fantasy XIV just doesn't have terribly interesting gathering. Its crafting is pretty okay. But, you know, like, if they think the gathering and crafting in Atelier Rise is fun, I haven't seen nothing yet. Start walking backwards. Granted, like, I think this is kind of a bell curve situation where it's like the middle of the Atelier series, it's where it's the most fun, and then you get to the other two extreme ends of like early Atelier games, it's like really fucking boring, and then Ryza, it's like, it's okay, but it's comparatively boring at this point. Very simplistic and very like, you know, just smash a bunch of materials into the thing you want to make, and then it'll be super amazing and good. Unlike Atelier Sophie, where you actually have to like puzzle your way through it. Again, it's like no fault of their own as to their low standards. It's just Final Fantasy XIV is probably largely responsible for their low standards, because Final Fantasy XIV has low standards. Gonna be real. All right, my voice is shot at this point, and I have stayed up pretty late. I'm gonna end the stream here. Is Dove still streaming? She were streaming earlier. It does seem like that they're still doing stuff. Speaking of Final Fantasy Tactics, they're doing a Final Fantasy Tactics Monsters Only run, where I think it's Mediator Ramza, and then the rest of their party has to be monsters, and that's it. Which is like, seems really hard. Also, I definitely should play more of Ogre Tactics Reborn. I've played through the first map, and I now have my, like, I can now hire people. But, I haven't played much more than that yet. I should play more Tactics Ogre Reborn. Maybe for 4 flasks, which we'll see about doing it a little bit shorter and, like, do an hour for each game or something. Something like that. Anyway, let me get that raid set up. I'll also peek my head in there to make sure I'm not raiding into Dove as she's getting done. A couple hours. They're in the middle of a map. Is that a red chocobo on their side? Or... no, but they have a dragon on their side. Alright. Start the raid. Folks, thank you very much for sticking around to the end of the stream. I always appreciate it. Tonight was particularly fun. It was good to just talk smack about Shadow the Hedgehog as well as Rising of the Shield Hero again. But no, it was fun just conversing while I did a little bit of grinding and stuff in Final Fantasy 14. Other than that, you know, your time being your most valuable thing, even if you peeked your head in here for just a little bit, it always means the world to me. Folks, please remember that you are always welcome here at Mana's Potion. And I will see you guys next time.